Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Pluto here, and today we're addressing the elephant in the room. The new neighbourhood is ugly. It works functionally, but I'm not proud of it, so I'm gonna fix it. We're also going to expand into the downtown area of our city. Hope you enjoy the episode. So like I stated in the intro, I would like to make this place a bit more beautiful. I would like to make it more cohesive, more like a transitional suburb, because we do want to have our downtown over in this direction. And right now this kind of just looks put together. So I'm gonna cut to a time lapse so I can just sort out the road layout, add stuff that makes it look like a real suburb. Okay, so I'm a little more happy with this layout. We actually ran out of money while I was detailing, but we're actually gaining quite a lot, which compared to last episode, that's huge. So I'm gonna speed up time to get a bit more money in the bank, but I will also go over what exactly I did here. So this area was completely redesigned. As you may be able to remember, it was similar to this where it kind of just had a few roads going out, but now I made it so that it's more of a neighborhood than anything else. I also added this commercial building just because I thought it suited it with the school across the way, and also it's not that far away from other commercial. And I added a little car park as well. I also added a square, not detailed at all, just a place for people probably in this neighborhood to kind of meet up and sit together. I also started to add a beach. This isn't done. I'm waiting for that to climb a little bit so that I can go all out and kind of detail it, but that's pretty much what I'm after. I also redesigned this area a little bit to, one, get the new roads in that we made over here, but also to add a couple of parks and kind of, again, make it more of a neighborhood feel, because before I feel like it was just it just didn't look like it was in the right place. So I'm happier with this. I do want to fill in the gaps soon, but I decided to leave that for now. This also had a bit of a redesign and a redevelopment where, in my opinion, similar to that place, it looks more like a neighborhood. Very nice. We've unlocked Tiny Town. We'll take a look at that in a second. But this, in my opinion, now looks more like a complete neighborhood than a couple of roads. I don't think I'm fully happy with it, but I can come back to that. So, as you just saw, we upgraded to Tiny Town. Let's see what gets added. So, it seems to be that we've got mixed housing, mailbox, well, communications in general, and a few more policies. But in development, let's see what we can unlock in development. So I think park maintenance might be a good place to unlock, followed by maybe sports parks. Because I did realize when we look at our happiness, okay, now that I look at our happiness and I've added 2 parks, they're happy. But I think it'll be beneficial in the long run anyway, so I'm happy with that. So there is one glaring gap in this area, and that is this area. Now, I believe that it's too populated for, or too noisy, should I say, for housing because of this train station. So I think it'll be good to just add some commercial buildings around this area. Question is, what commercial buildings? Maybe a Burger King or something might suit, because you know, when you're getting on your train and you kind of just want a bite to eat, that makes sense to me. But I suppose we could just move this up a bit closer, and I think if we let it, maybe we could do some mixed housing actually. I think something like that actually does work. Wasn't so sure, but I think it, if we put a hedge around the outside, so here, I think that actually works quite well. And I want to, I know I said I would put it over here, so we need to fix that, but I think I'm gonna do a square here. Though I do want to wrap the, is that the drive-through? Yeah, it must be. So I want to wrap the drive-through with a hedge so that no one runs into that accidentally. Eventually, we're probably gonna put a bus stop right here so people can take it as soon as they get off the train. But for now, let's just leave it as a square, like a meeting place for people to kind of get together. Okay, that's what I want to do for now. I think more needs added to it, but I'm happy enough with that at the moment. All that's left to do in this area for now is to add some more trees up here. And I think we need to add some paths down to the beach. Nothing too complicated. Just like so. And I think this area is done for now. Guess that means we're ready to move on to our main downtown area. So I checked some references around Tacoma and also Olympia, both in Washington, and they have shipyards along their kind of coastal area of their downtown. And I think it would be best to keep maybe this area clear for that. But I think we can start building around this area and just get started. We do need to be careful about our money situation, is the only thing. But I think as long as we're mindful about that, we can begin to get ready. We build, I don't want to be directly on the water right now. I think I might do like a key around the outside. So let's step back a bit and kind of, whoops, start to, first of all, of course, we need to be aware of topography, and I don't want to wreck it too much, but I think if we then start down here, we could have like a highway junction here and try to keep that area because I don't want our city to be completely flat. So let's start over here and we can continue. I'm trying to keep in line with the topography because I don't think we need to mess with it that much. Maybe in areas like this where it just steps down for a moment and then we slope it or soften the, what's it called? Soften terrain to try make the slopes easier. So I think most of the city might be a rough grid, at least. Doesn't need to be perfect, but we can start with that anyway. One thing that I am being mindful of is our budget, because we do not have a lot of money right now. So I think we maybe start to really split it off into grids. What grids we want, I'm not entirely sure. So I'm thinking we actually go with at least 96. Yeah, I like that. Let's try get 96 on as many sides as possible. Alright, so there is a basic grid layout. We only have 19,000 right now, so let's go ahead and connect this up to the highway. Upgrade this road probably. And for now, I'm happy enough to make it just like this. Doesn't need to be a bigger road. Again, sometime in the future, we're gonna have a whole episode based around highways. So I don't think it's needed right now. We only have like 2,500 in the city. And I do want to make sure that lanes are pretty well organized, because I don't want any unnecessary traffic jams. Okay, so let's get to work on finding some buildings that would be cool. So let's begin with that. That can be our first silver block in the downtown. But they do need water. So we gotta transport to. And we must follow the road. That's vital importance. We actually don't have the money for a transformer station. So that's fun. But do we have money to do some lighting on the highway? Does that fix it? Yes. We actually have a lot of demand for high density residential. So if we just lower that down. So that's quite a few high density, so hopefully that calms down some of the demand. We move them closer together as well, just to make them look more like a city. Our low density demand is still climbing, so I think we could squeeze some more in here, no problem. Also do have some commercial, which I'd like to build over here. I know there was a mall, so if we look at that. I feel like it doesn't overly suit the vibe is the only thing. It's way too big. Okay, let's skip the mall for now. You know what? This looks like a shopping mall. I think it could definitely work on this part of the map, especially if we detail it up a little bit. We've still got high demand for low density residential, so let me see if I can squeeze some in down here. I think that's really all we can put down there, so let us look elsewhere. Maybe even here, you know. Bit of a bigger building, but that's perfectly fine. We can leave it at that for now. How is our unemployment looking like? 6.1. Let's add some just to future proof. And I'm really liking the factories. So let's keep going with that. And that costs quite a bit of money, but I think it will also make quite a lot of money. If we check in... Well, yeah, we're producing tons and tons of grain, so let's make that even better. While we gain some money back, let's go in and detail what we have so far as our downtime. find a little place for another low density residential, but I think we could maybe add some up here. It's far enough away from the motorway and we'll make sure of it. But we do need some space for these homes because the demand is sky high. I'm actually going to kind of layer this in terms of terraforming because I feel like these homes will be actually pretty high value. And I like the idea of them kind of sitting on a hill, looking down over the river, looking down over the city. Even some of them might have a downtown view. So I think I kind of want to layer these up a little bit. I think I'm going to remove that so I can kind of wind it up instead. We aren't looking for density in this area, we're looking for kind of luxury, so... that looks a bit wonky, so I'm actually going to use network tools and smooth it out that way. And I will add a similar row, but do that instead. But no, we do not need traffic lights. I see we have demand for this as well, so let's expand it out a little bit. Here and here. Putting it on adjacent blocks so that it doesn't start building like 5-block deep apartments. Did originally just start zoning these areas, but the style has kind of went awry and I did not realize, so here I am back fixing it. Shouldn't take too long anyway. Doesn't need to be the exact same style every time either. Let's actually borrow some apartments from here. Because I don't really want to... maybe replace these ones as well. I want there to be stuff here that isn't housing. What that stuff will be, I'm not sure, but I want there to be stuff. I wish these would build a bit faster, and I think we're, yeah, quite high unemployment again. But we can add some offices, which is fun. To me, that kind of works. Maybe change the color a bit to cream. Or white, like that. Dots look a little bit old-fashioned, but I think that kind of works. One thing that I did want to add was some services in this area. How much is this? 100,000. Yikes. Okay, maybe let's start with a medical center. How much is this? 60,000. I mean, it's less than the alternative, so maybe it could be the move. Although I want to upgrade this road a bit. So I think somewhere like here is a good place to put it. Lost quite a lot of money in that, but I think we'll make it back pretty quickly. And we need more money for other services. Okay, so we've got a bit of a traffic situation here. But I think it's probably temporary. Let me sort out the zoning over here. I think maybe next episode should be our highway episode, because this is getting a bit out of control. But for now, let's let them suffer for a bit longer. If we do 4, maybe, where we can. I think that works for me. If we do that. Might look a bit ununiform, shall we say. But maybe we just have a traffic episode in general next episode. Because this is a lot. We have grew rapidly. I think we were at definitely under 3k, if not lower than that when the episode started. But I don't think we'll get to finish filling this out today, sadly. We've gained a lot of money, but I don't think we've gained enough. So I think I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you very much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Ignore all of the panic icons from the traffic. But we've made a lot of progress. We redesigned the whole neighborhood, kind of started our downtown, and also started building like the hills. But this is stressing me out, and there isn't enough time to fix it this episode, so I'm gonna cut this episode now. But yes, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Please remember to leave some suggestions for a name, otherwise I might come up with a name myself and just fix that. But yeah, I hope you have a nice rest of your day. I shall see you in the next episode. Bye everyone.